So, you're a local service business, you're running your own ads, and you're just not seeing the results. You know that frustration of pouring money into Google and getting basically nothing back? Well, today, we're going to break down why pulling the plug too early is one of the most expensive mistakes you can possibly make.
Think about it. You've gone through the trouble of setting up your Google Ads campaign. You're putting your hard-earned money in, but the phone is just silent. Does that sound familiar? It's probably one of the most common and, honestly, maddening problems for business owners just trying to grow.
And, when you see that ad spend ticking up day after day without any new calls coming in, every single instinct in your body is screaming, just pull the plug, stop the bleeding, right? But I'm here to tell you that very decision could actually be the costliest one you make with your marketing. Okay, so let's dive into this. To really get why patience is so incredibly important here, we need to peek behind the curtain at what's actually happening inside your account during those crucial first few weeks. It all comes down to something called the learning phase. So, what in the world is this learning phase? Well, put simply, it's that initial period where Google's super powerful algorithm is basically acting like a detective. It's out there gathering clues. Its main job isn't to get you leads yet. Its job is to figure out the perfect recipe to get you those leads consistently later on. Now, what's really cool is what Google is actually learning. It's not just throwing your ads out there randomly. It's running hundreds of tiny experiments in the background. It's asking questions like, who are the people that actually respond to these ads? Which version of the ad gets the most interest? What's the right price to pay for a click? And when's the absolute best time of day to show these ads? It's figuring all of this out just for your business. And that process, well, it takes data and it takes a little bit of time. Here's probably the best way to think about it. Your brand new ad campaign is like a new apprentice you just hired. You wouldn't bring them on and expect them to be your top performer on day one, would you? Of course not. That first month's ad spend isn't for generating a flood of immediate jobs. Think of it as their training wage. You're paying to teach the system how to do its job perfectly for you. So let's really look at how this plays out in your first 30 days. And I want you to start reframing this in your mind. It's not an expense. It's a critical data investment. And this slide just nails the difference between what you're seeing and what's really going on. On the surface, it can look like total chaos. Clicks are all over the place, your costs might be jumping up and down, and worst of all, very few phone calls are coming in. But underneath all that mess, something incredibly valuable is happening. The system is testing, the algorithm is learning, and it's gathering all that crucial data it needs to start winning for you down the road. So this is the main point I really want you to get. The performance you see during this initial phase is not an indicator of your long-term results. It's supposed to be a bit messy and unpredictable. Judging your campaign based on these first few weeks is like judging a marathon runner based on how they look in the first 100 yards. It tells you absolutely nothing about how they're going to finish the race. All right, so you've done it. You've been patient, you've paid that training wage, and you've let the system do its learning. Now we get to the really exciting part. What happens when you start seeing real, tangible results in months 2 and 3? And this right here is the payoff for that patience. In month 1, your cost to get a good lead is often going to be high. That's because the system is still learning. It's inefficient. But look what happens next. As the algorithm starts to apply everything it learned, that cost per lead starts to drop. And often, it drops dramatically. You're not just getting more calls, you're getting them for less money. And that's because the whole mission of the algorithm completely shifts. It moves from learning to optimizing. It's graduated. It now knows exactly who to target, the best time to show them an ad, and precisely what that ad needs to say. This is the engine that drives your costs down and, just as importantly, brings in those higher quality leads, the people who are actually ready to pick up the phone and book a job with you. This brings us to a really important benchmark for how you should be evaluating your campaigns. We need a simple rule of thumb. What is the absolute minimum amount of time you should commit before you even think about judging whether it's a success or a failure? The number you need to burn into your memory is 90 days. And this isn't just some random guess. It's the typical time frame a campaign needs to get through that messy learning phase, to stabilize and to really begin showing its true profitable potential. Anything less than that, and you're just not giving it a fair shot. So what happens if you do quit before that 90-day mark? Let's be crystal clear about what that actually costs you. First, your entire training budget is completely wasted. All the money you spent on data is just gone. Second, you lose the data itself. You're throwing away every single valuable insight that campaign just paid to learn. And third, if you decide to try again later,
You have to reset all your progress. You're right back at square one, paying for that expensive learning phase all over again.
Okay, let's wrap this all up. If there is one single, important idea you need to walk away with today, this is it.
Here it is. Your initial ad spend is an investment in data, not an immediate return on leads. That is a huge mindset shift. But once you truly get that, all that initial chaos starts to make perfect sense, and you can see why being patient is so valuable. In this game, patience doesn't just pay, it's what separates the winners from everybody else.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. When you look at your own Google Ads, are you judging them on their messy, awkward training period, or are you giving them the time they actually need to prove their real long-term performance?
If you found this breakdown helpful and you're looking for more practical, no-nonsense insights to help grow your service business, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're always digging into what actually works in the real world. And of course, if you'd rather have an expert help you navigate this whole process and turn your Google Ads from a confusing expense into a reliable stream of real calls and book jobs, then you should visit Proper Marketers. They live and breathe this stuff every single day.